So where I left off was we were attaching the number 10 envelopes to the base, the first layer, and things that I would have done different at this point is not tack down your paper ears to do the distressing first, because remember when I said the glue, when it's smeared, the distress ink doesn't catch, won't grab on that. So I would have gone and distressed everything first and then went down, tacked down all the paper ears and fixed any loose ends that there were. Another thing I would have done, and I don't know why I didn't remember that, is when I did my Christmas explosion box, this one, go around, what I did was I attached the envelope, the front number 10, I put the piece of cardstock inside the flap and then tacked it down on this one. But on my Christmas one, I did not do that. What I did was I tacked down the cardstock and then put glue on each of the ends and did it that way. That way I'd have, because I put my secret recipe inside this pouch and then some tags inside here. So by doing it this way, I lost an extra pocket, kind of. So that's what I would have done differently. So if you are just watching and want to make it, that decision would be yours. You have both those options. Because now when I went around and was putting these together, I would put glue on here, stick it in the pocket, press it down, and then I had to go back in and tack down this little opening here. It was like that. I don't know if you can see that. So then I had to go back and tack all those down. So that's what I would have done differently. So all of these number 10s are now put together. I have the one pocket. And remember I was telling you that when my husband gets home or my son gets up, that the dogs go crazy. And Festus, with Festus, you have to clear everything. The kitchen counters, the tables, the desk, like cutting table or craft table. You have to move everything back like 3 feet because his face, he's so tall, his face gets way over. And luckily I had the camera off, but he's one that when you drink, he drinks water, is like drools off on he's got these big lips, and the water just catches up in there when he's drinking, and then as he walks around it dribbles everywhere. So I was kind of like panicking because he was walking around, so I had to go grab his little, he's got this towel that we have hanging on the side of his food container, so when he does things like that, we go and grab and wipe him down, and he knows the drill. But yesterday he came by and with his collar, when he was searching, wasn't drinking water at that time, thank goodness, I would have panicked. He went by and grabbed, this was sticking out over the edge of the table, and when he walked by with his collar, he ended up ripping the little flap right there and there, and I think he caught something else on here. So now I have to, where I was not going to do it before, now I have to go in and I think I'm going to cut a piece of cardstock. See if I can find something here. And I think Laura Dennison did it on her on hers. I think I'm going to have to go in, back in, cut a piece of cardstock that goes down a little bit, come over and cover the whole flap here, and then score it enough to bend over and do that. That way it's secured. I'm going to have to do that on both ends, and then this side will go inside this pocket and then flap over. So I'll make it a little bit thicker for that flap, but I think that'll work, and I'll just go and do that with all of those. So these are all, everything got distressed, including all the other little envelopes. I went ahead and did that so we can start putting on the other bases. this is what we did. This is the lid. We cut the circle out so we can get our little clear cap inside. I cut my piece of, I think the lid cover is 4 1/4 inches square, and what I did was I placed it, and take the cup back out, placed it onto my lid, that's the way it's going to go down, flipped it over and drew a circle, so that I'm going to get my X-Acto knife and cut that out, and then I'm going to, so this is what I did. I'm going to tack this down. So what I did was I went in and used my ATG gun on this. I'm just going to put this down. And then what I did was I stuck it inside so it doesn't grab the paper before I'm ready to actually adhere it down. What I do is I cup the cardstock and then I cup the envelope and stick it in there, so that way it doesn't stick down yet until I'm ready to adjust it to the top. Let's stick to my finger. So I want to line that up. Just like that. And then, so I don't have to come back later, go ahead and do my bead of glue on this little flat part here. Since I did it all on all the others, then I have to finish the last one the same way. And then let's turn this over and line this up, and it's ready to go. There we go. Got a little bit of that adhesive sticking out. Okay, so now all the envelopes on the outside are done at this point, so that way I don't have this big old box flopping all over. I can at least set up the sides and put the lid down, even though it's not completely sealed. And then I have my, so far my box is right there. So now I'm going to cut this circle out of the under part of the lid, and I shall do that and shut the recording off for now and cut that. So I will be right back. So I've got the circle cut out of my cover for the bottom of the lid. So my cap will go in, and then this will be placed underneath. And that way I've got decoration. Now I'm trying to think of something that I can put in back of the stars. And I have this paper, not sure if you can see the shininess of it, kind of like orange and yellow and gold, so I think I'm gonna use that for the stars. So I'm gonna cut 4 1 1/4 inch strips. Actually, let's see, am I going to be able to get 4 out of here? So let's try 1 3/8. So actually that is, how long are the strips that I want? Look like they're 4 1/8. Wait a minute. I cannot see. These are 4 3/8. So I'll trim the length down first. 4 3/8. And then I need them 1 3/8 wide. 1, 2, 3. Again, this paper was in that stash of the origami 6x6 squares that you can get at Michael's. I think Joann's has them as well. And then I'm going to place those in there, and that's what will be the stars. So I'm going to go ahead and score these, and I'm going to adhere them down. And I think I'm going to use my 1/8 inch score tape on this. I went in and used my 1/8 inch tape to go around the edges, and apparently, I don't know if this would be a suggestion to all edge punch manufacturers, to leave at least an 1/8 inch from the bottom of where the paper that we're going to be punching, like give us an 1/8 inch tolerance, because now I have to go in with my fine tip scissors and clip everywhere where the stars are. You could see the tape, so I'm going to go in and clip all that. I went ahead and used the 1/2 inch score tape on the main section of the lid, and then just took the 1/8 inch and put it around the circle where the cap is going. And what I'd like to do is, on my ATG refills, they have this piece of, it's like parchment wax paper that goes in between each of the rows of the ATG refill cartridges, or whatever you want to call them. And I like this when I'm doing something because it's got a nice slick finish to it, waxy finish. And I like using that when I'm going down to burnish down, or to you'll see me use it a lot to come down. That way I'm not catching it. That I caught. My fingers aren't going to ruin anything, or if I'm using the bone folder, get caught in the holes or little things that can be caught. And then just go around and press down, make sure that the ATG or the score tape is down pretty good. So that's what I do there. So now I'm going to go and clip all the little ends off of the tape. Now I did, because this metallic paper that I'm using, this origami paper, for the stars, I would have used the glue, but I did a little test on a scrap piece, and the glue, it will not allow it to stick to itself. That's why, and it didn't stick to a piece of cardstock, so that's why I used the score tape instead, because the glue, I would have much rather used a bead of glue down the edge here, but that didn't work. So let me go ahead and clip those. And then once I clip those, I'll attach the paper, the origami paper, then the base, the cap, then the base, and then bring these sides in and close off my lid. And then that way the lid is done. So while I'm working on the explosion box, I can keep it all together and it's not open, and I won't have no Festus problems again. So using the little scissors did not work, so I had to go in with my X-Acto knife and went in and cut out where the score tape was peeking through. So now I'm going to go in and remove my tape and put down my first. I'm sorry? So I'm going to go ahead and tack down my first piece. And I did measure that about 1/8 of an inch too long, no biggie. I'll trim it off. So